right, so here's a special reel. I knew I needed to make it because we're at CES 2026, and I had some thoughts about content creation. That's right, I was thinking about, what it's like to be a content creator in 2026, especially nowadays. Like, it used to be a little bit different a few years ago, but right now, things are going a little bit wild. I mean, the fact that everybody in the world wants to become an influencer of sorts is what's really changing the game, right? We now have scammers and people that are trying to take advantage more so than ever of that area because of the influx of people that are going to it. And of course, the amount of young people that are going there, it's creating a lot of opportunity for these scammers. I do want to go ahead and say real quick, don't try to be an influencer. Try to be somebody that does something, right? If you're into 3D printing, if you're into tech, if you're into robots, if you're into gaming, I don't care what you're into, be into something and then become the best at that thing. Become the freaking most awesome person you can at whatever you're focusing on. Whoa. And then by doing that, you can then actually have some knowledge in that area and thus influence the people, right? But if you're just trying to be an influencer by itself, what really is that? There is no real such thing, I believe, as an influencer by themselves. You have to actually have a goal in some sense. You can't just be popular because you're popular. You have to be popular because you did something. At least in my opinion, that's what makes more sense. Okay, enough of my rant right now. I was watching The Price is Right this morning, which is the whole reason I wanted to make this little reel. And as I was watching The Price is Right, I noticed that all the people on there, some of the first gifts are really basic. They're pretty cheap stuff, but they get so excited about it. And I know, they're supposed to act like they're super excited about it, whether or not it's super exciting. But the fact is, they usually get pretty excited about these items. And a lot of the things that I get in my emails are just like that. They're like, hey, would you like this dart set or this new electric bike or this new thing, right? And I realize I should be like those people on The Price is Right, where I'm like, but I also have to play the game. Just as like in The Price is Right, you have to get a guess the right price. When you're doing influencing or when you're doing content creation, you have to respond back and write the right emails and have the right communication and have the right kind of just way of talking with people to be able to get the right deals, right? And so I realized that it creates somewhat of a communication understanding that you didn't really have before. More than anything, what I'm learning is that I just want to be able to share with other people kind of what it is that I do on the actual inside of things and not really keep the illusion up as much as I have been over the last couple years. There's a lot of illusion in videos. There's a lot of illusion in what I'm doing right now. The reality is, I'm just standing here in the middle of all these people, feeling a little bit insecure because I see a lot of faces looking at me, but at the same time, I really don't care because in my mind, I know 2 + 2 = 4, and I'm not going to see or hear from any of these people anymore. And if anybody actually wants to judge me, well, that doesn't make any sense. If anybody wants to talk to me, they're probably going to give me advice, or if anything, maybe even reach out to me because they see that what I'm doing is talking to a camera and talking to a microphone, and they say, hey, maybe you would like to do that for some other thing, or maybe you could help us with something, right? So if anything, my anxiety that I have when I do stuff like this really is just, it doesn't make any sense because the only reality is that good things can happen from just putting yourself out there. Of course, when it comes to just getting products or wanting opportunities with products, you have to actually decide that you want to give value to the world. Otherwise, you're not going to last long. And what I mean by that is if you're just simply thinking, I want to get free stuff for the sake of getting free stuff, that's what everybody wants. You have to separate yourself. You have to put a moat around yourself and be a little bit different. And I can tell you very honestly, what I do every single day is I try to bring value to the people that are around me. I try to focus on the things that I want and not the things that I don't want, because I learned after years and years and years of really just manifesting all the bad stuff that I didn't want to have happen with some good stuff in there. I found out that it was really just my own doing, and that if I just took responsibility for myself and just stopped having excuses, I would be able to be more successful and get more stuff done and end up at places like this where I can be around industry leaders and talk to people and just have an opportunity to speak to you with my heart out on my sleeve. But really, truly, if you have questions about the stuff or there's questions about anything that I do or ever do or am doing, feel free to ask me. I'm going to give you an honest answer. I'm going to blow the smoke away and I'm going to tell you exactly what it's like. I don't want the wizard behind the curtain. I want the reality that people see. That's why we're doing reality check, right? And of course, virtual reality, that was a big thing for a long time with me because I wanted to connect with more people. I wanted to communicate with more people around the world, even if I was stuck in one spot. I didn't want to be held by my physical constraints of my body, right? Or even the internet as far as the actual immersive feeling of presence that you get with people. I wanted to make sure that things felt good no matter where I was and what I was doing in my life. And that's really just the process that I think we're all doing. And more so than anything, I started this video off talking about content and influencers. And really, it's just all about the fact that all of us want stuff. And whether that stuff is love, or whether that stuff is an electric bike or a drone or a family, we want stuff. And we need stuff to help us feel like we're all in this together, right? And really, again, all I can do is offer what I can offer and ask you guys to do the same thing. And please, 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 if there's anything that I can do for anybody out there, life is about service of others. It's not about getting everything for yourself. If you can help somebody else out there, you're going to find opportunities for yourself. If you can start thinking about what you can do to give value to other people, you're going to start thinking of all these jobs that you can do. And of course, when people start seeing seeing you giving service to others, they're going to also be able to see that you can do those things. They're going to give you opportunities. They're going to see you and place you in a position of an authority, which is exactly where you want to be. And here's my last little thing, just because I was talking about that. For anybody out there that lives in America, you really have a really lucky opportunity. One thing I do on the side that I still make income with is I teach people around the world English. Just speak your native language and make money off it. There's a lot of people out there that are just dying to speak to somebody who speaks English natively. And of course, if you're able to do that, you can make an income. So really, just being in this country is a gift, and being in a place and a time where you can do things with your voice, with your thoughts, with your ideas is a gift. And anybody out there that wants to do that, wants to transition from whatever you're doing and wants to get some of the stuff that I'm talking about, feel free to reach out because it's already there. And the fact that you're thinking it, the fact that you're feeling it is meaning that you've got something coming. And I'm really excited to be on the journey with you guys. The potentiality of what you guys hold inside your hearts, inside your minds is just unlimited. And the moment you realize that, the moment we start going to the races, because we're going to take off together. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.